In this video, I'm going to do a case study on YouTube analytics. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to analyze my YouTube channel, and we're going to use things like trend lines. We're going to try and predict in terms of how many minutes I need to achieve in order to get monetized. So interesting type of analysis, a little bit different. So let's get into it. Before we begin, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell because I release new videos every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So let's get into it. All right, so let me show you what this is. So if you've never made a YouTube channel before, you'll probably not recognize any of this. And what it is it's the watch time of my channel over a long period of time. So I actually started back in 2015, but I didn't really start taking it seriously until about start of 2020-ish. I had some videos, but I was uploading really sporadically, like one video here, and then 1 year later I'll do a video. And it wasn't until later on I got really interested. So what I want to do is try and determine how long it will take me to get to 4,000 hours, right? Because that is the target for YouTube in order for you to get monetized and start making a little bit of money to help support the channel. And that money primarily goes to, buying software and all that kind of stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to download this, which I've already done. Let's bring it up here. So let me just show you what the data looks like. All right. Let's bring up this Excel file. So this is what you get. Very simple data set. All right. So this is the watch time in hours. All right. So it's not a running total or anything. It's just day by day. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to bring this into Tableau. All right, let's do this. Totals, and let's drop that in. And kind of one of the first things I do, and this is a good exercise if you're, doing data analysis or anything, and someone gives you data that you don't really recognize because it's the first time you're seeing it. Always make sure that before you start doing anything, you compare to make sure it's actually read it correctly. So if I copy this exact same layout. So we're going to do date, right? And I'm going to do the right click drag method. We're going to go continuous. We're going to bring the watch time in here. I really just want to see, just eyeball, does it look the same? And pretty much does, right? And what I tend to do is look for any unique things in the pattern, right? So I don't need to know exactly the numbers, but for example, this part right here, where there's like two spikes that are close and then another one like that, we can isolate this, just go keep only, and just see that it actually looks the same. I can see that spike is over here, right? Let's go in here. You can see it's a very busy time period here because I started posting much more consistently, right? That looks pretty much the same. I can see this kind of curvature here at the end where I reached a new record for this. So, all right, cool. The data is good. That's step one. I've seen too many people make that mistake. All right, let's get into it. If I do a running total, right, we're going to go quick table. We're going to go running total. It says I've already reached 4,000 hours. To make that look easier, we're going to go analytics. We're going to go reference line. And we're going to add it to this vertical axis, so the sum of watch time. And we're going to do for the whole table. We don't have any panes in this. We're going to switch this to constant and 4,000. So this is my target. This is a really good idea. If whenever you have a line chart that meets a target, it's good to just visibly see when it actually crosses that barrier. So I'm going to make it dashed and we're going to make it red. All right, so you can see, okay. All right, so according to this, I am ready to be monetized, but not really, because if I go into date and bring this in, right, split it up by year, okay, it needs to be within a 1 year time period. So actually this goes across 1, 2, what is that, like 5, 6, 7 years, right? So we're not interested in all these old years because this doesn't count to monetization. So we're just going to exclude these. All right, and we can get rid of this year again. All right, you can see that the hours have dropped dramatically. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a trend line in to see roughly when it's going to cross 4,000. So we're going to go into analytics, trend line. And at the moment, like whenever you pick a trend line, don't worry too much about which one you choose, right? The simplest to do is just linear to begin with, and then you can kind of play around with the other ones to see which one matches the best, right? So you can see it's going like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand the time period so that that dash eventually crosses the 4,000. All right, so we're going to go edit axis. and a few things we're going to do. The first thing is we're going to go fixed. We're going to switch the base where it starts to automatic, because when we determine 12-month period, we want that first one to move. As for this one, I'm thinking, let's say August of this year. I'm sure to reach it by then. Okay, so we leave that there. And we're going to also adjust the tick marks. The main reason is because I want to see what the time period is, and by default, it never shows the vertical grid lines. So we're going to change this. So we're going to go fixed. We're going to make sure this starts on the 1st of the month. It's weird to start on the 13th, especially if it's a Friday. I'm going to switch this to months. Okay, so that makes a little bit more sense. We're going to go into here and go format. We're going to add some grid lines. So we're going to go here, column, column, and here in the grid lines, we're going to go dashed, right? And that's enough. It's very faint, but it's enough. Okay, there we go. All right, now looking back at this trend line, doesn't exactly follow the line very well. From the looks of it, it's an exponential curve or a polynomial. And if you don't know what that is, it actually doesn't really matter, because if you just click on this one that you have, edit, right? You just play around with it until it kind of matches. So an exponential seems to be a bit too aggressive for my data set. So instead we're going to change it to a polynomial, right? A third order polynomial actually looks really good. It looks practically perfect. So assuming the same kind of growth happens, right? Very important thing in that the reason it's increased is the way YouTube works is you publish more videos, you get more views, which gets more subscribers, so that when you publish more videos, more people watch it to get more views, which results in more subscribers, and then YouTube suggests your videos to other people, which results in more subscribers, and it kind of goes on like that. So we're going to go okay, right? So according to this, it's about April, right? So I can see that's why you got that vertical grid line. But the thing is, April is what? January, February, March, April. That's 4 months. So 4 months plus 12 months from the 1st of January. That's 16 months, right? But the target is a 12-month period. You have to have 4,000 hours. So what we're going to do is we're just going to exclude about 4 months worth here, right? So let's say about let's do it bit by bit. Let's exclude about March, well, all the way up to March. Let's get rid of this, exclude. All right. So now we got from March to March, still not 4,000 hours. So let's get rid of another month. Right, so now from April to about April. So it looks like about April next year. So sorry, not next year. It's 2021 already. So it's in about 3 or 4 months, right? Monetization possibly happen, right? So that is as simple as it gets in terms of just doing an analysis. I do this kind of stuff all the time, not just for YouTube, but all sorts of things where I'm just interested in a potential idea. Maybe sometimes I'll do stocks or some sort of investing or financial stuff, or even stuff for work where you have a simple idea, just take a simple data set, play around with it and have a go. Like you saw, you don't have to have everything figured out ahead of time. You can just kind of play with it. I did play with it a little bit before I started filming, and a few things didn't work. It happens, you just kind of play around, see how you go. That is the video. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time.